Have you ever thought about how technology has made the world a global village? It's amazing how we can connect with people from all around the globe, making life easier and more convenient. And when it comes to dating, technology has given us the gift of online dating, the chance to meet people with just a glance at their photos and profiles. Some have been lucky enough to meet their happily ever after, but let's be honest, not all online dating experiences have happy endings. Some can often turn unpredictable. Some can be downright terrifying. So buckle up and get ready for some intriguing and horrifying stories of online dating gone wrong. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Starting with the countdown is an amazing lady who wanted nothing more than her happily ever after home. Ashlyn Black, a 25-year-old who adored fashion and outdoors, was a compassionate soul residing in Layton, Utah. She found joy in vintage shops, camping, and listening to Nirvana. Her profession as a caregiver for children facing developmental or educational challenges resonated deeply with her. Her family fondly recalled her passion for advocating for those who struggled to speak up for themselves, a trait that came naturally to her. Described by many as kind, patient, and warm-hearted, she possessed an infectious laughter that instantly put people at ease. On a fateful evening in May 2020, while casually swiping through Tinder, Ashlyn matched with Ethan Hunsaker, a 24-year-old single father. Despite Ethan's recent separation and solitary living arrangement, the two hit it off quickly, making plans for dinner and drinks. Ethan arrived at Ashlyn's home around 9 p.m., and they ventured to a local bar where they spent several hours before returning to Ethan's residence. In the early morning hours of the morning, a chilling call to emergency services revealed a horrifying scene. Ashlyn lay motionless, her body marred by stab wounds. Police swiftly responded to the address on North Reed Avenue, discovering Ashlyn's lifeless body in one of the bedrooms. Despite paramedics' efforts, she was pronounced dead at the scene. Ethan, marked with scratches and injuries, immediately became the prime suspect. During interrogation, Ethan confessed to a horrific account of events, detailing how he inexplicably attacked Ashlyn as she slept beside him. His actions, he claimed, were driven by a sudden impulse to harm her. Tragically, Ashlyn's life was mercilessly cut short, leaving her loved ones grappling with incomprehensible grief. Blanca Arellano, a 51-year-old Mexican woman, found joy in playing online games. Through one of these games, she connected with Juan Pablo Jesus Villaferte, a 37-year-old medical student. She decided to make the 3,000-mile journey from her home in Mexico to Peru in July to meet him. She maintained regular contact with her family until November 7, 2022. Alarming silence gripped Blanca's family when she suddenly ceased communication. Concerned, her niece Carla reached out to Villaferte. He claimed that Blanca had grown disinterested in their relationship and returned to Mexico alone. However, the grim truth surfaced 2 days later when fishermen discovered Blanca's decapitated head, followed by her organless torso. Subsequently, a finger adorned with a ring washed ashore. Contrary to Villaferrete's claims, Blanca's family believed her relationship in Peru was flourishing. Their suspicion heightened when Villaferrete was arrested on November 17, 2022, on suspicion of Blanca Arellano's murder. Though Villaferrete, a purported medical student, stood accused, investigators speculated he did not act alone in Blanca's demise. Adding to the chilling narrative, during the period Blanca was reported missing and Villaferrete subsequent requests, TikTok videos emerged purportedly showing him dissecting human organs, including a human brain. Meet Chance Seneca, a young man from Louisiana born in 2001, who idolized the notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Desiring to mirror Dahmer's actions, Seneca became fixated on the killer's every move. In June of 2020, Seneca joined an online dating app, Grindr, where he crossed paths with Holden White. Their connection seemed promising, and the pair quickly escalated from virtual chats to arranging an in-person meeting. Seneca lured White to an isolated Lafayette Parish home under false pretenses. Upon their arrival, Seneca pulled out a gun, forcing the victim to put it on handcuffs. He strangled White, and as he passed out, he repeatedly stabbed and battered him until he believed the 18-year-old had died. In a shocking turn of events, Seneca unexpectedly called 911 and abandoned the scene, leaving White on the brink of death. Miraculously, White managed to survive his ordeal despite sustaining life-threatening injuries. Seneca's abrupt change of heart saved White's life, sparing this harrowing encounter from a much darker fate. Next on the list is a heart-wrenching tale of a woman's innocent rendezvous turned nightmare. What began as a simple online app encounter took a horrific turn when 4 uninvited strangers crashed the date, resulting in an alleged gang rape. The victim, a 22-year-old woman, had arranged to meet a man she had been conversing with on the app. However, her plans were disrupted when 4 additional men unexpectedly arrived and subjected her to sexual assault. Following a traumatic incident, the victim reported assault to authorities, prompting the launch of Strike Force Herb. In response to the woman's distressing ordeal, police swiftly initiated simultaneous raids on 4 addresses across Ashcroft, Fairfield West, and Busby in Sydney Southwest. The culmination of a 2-month investigation led to the arrest of Adam Cabot, 24, at an Ashcroft residence. He stands accused of involvement in an alleged gang rape that transpired at a home in Belmore in April. Additionally, a 19-year-old man has been charged in connection with the incident. This is the case of a woman who nearly lost her life. Mary Kay Beckman, a 50-year-old woman, was just looking for love just like any of us. Little did she know, her pursuit of romance would lead to a brush with death. Wade Ridley, a seemingly ordinary man with no prior criminal record. Mary's initial infatuation with Ridley quickly turned to horror as his true intentions came to light. What began as a fleeting 8-day romance spiraled into a nightmare scenario, culminating in a $10 million lawsuit against Match.com. On January 21, 2012, Mary made the courageous decision to end her relationship with Ridley. However, her act of self-preservation was met with unspeakable violence. Returning home, Mary discovered Ridley lying in wait in her garage, armed with a knife and intent on ending her life. Through sheer luck and resilience, Mary narrowly escaped a brutal attack, sustaining multiple stab wounds and enduring traumatic brain injuries from repeated blows to the head. Tragically, Ridley's reign of terror didn't end there. Just 1 month later, he allegedly perpetrated a similar attack on Ann Simonson, claiming her life in a manner eerily reminiscent of his failed attempt on Mary's. Mary's harrowing ordeal serves as a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the realm of online dating, underscoring the importance of vigilance and safety in seeking companionship in the digital age. Can it ever get worse? Absolutely yes. The next person on our list is a victim of love. Shadra Walker lived with her mother and brother in Vasai Palghar district, Maharashtra, who found herself entangled in a relationship that would ultimately claim her life. Shadra's journey took a dark turn when she crossed paths with Aftab Amin Poonawalla, a fellow resident of Vasai, whom she met through the online dating app Bumble. Despite warnings from her family, who opposed their interfaith relationship and the idea of cohabitation with a relative stranger, Shadra took a fateful step of moving in with Aftab in 2019. Tragically, what began as a relationship filled with hope and promise soon descended into horror. Nearly 6 months after Shadra's disappearance, her father filed a missing person report, igniting an investigation that would uncover the grim truth. On May 18, 2022, an unimaginable horror came to light when it was revealed that Shadra's live-in partner, Aftab Poonawalla, had brutally murdered her during a heated argument. Shockingly, Aftab then proceeded to dismember Shadra's body into 35 pieces, attempting to conceal her identity by charring her face. Utilizing a 300-liter fridge, he callously stored her remains before systematically disposing of them in the Shaptur forest over the course of 18 days, at 2 a.m. every night to avoid suspicion. Poonawalla was arrested by the Delhi police on 12 November 2022. On our fourth spot is a promising and radiant teacher. A Texas elementary school teacher who was named Teacher of the Year in 2021 was shot dead behind her house on Saturday on the evening of January 7th. Police responded to reports of a shooting only to discover Wendy's lifeless body behind her Sugar Land home, riddled with multiple gunshot wounds. The grim scene pointed to a harrowing case of domestic violence. Wendy's mother revealed that her daughter had been romantically involved with Charvis Thompson, a man she met on the dating app Meet Me. Despite her mother's reservations about Thompson, Wendy continued the relationship, unaware of the darkness that lurked behind his facade. The heartbroken mother laminated, "It's unbelievable. The guy is very evil. He took her life away. I hope this guy gets the full legal punishment." Her sentiments echoed the profound grief and outrage felt by all who knew Wendy. Charvis Thompson was swiftly apprehended in connection with Wendy's murder, apprehended more than 260 miles away from the scene of the crime. Sade Robinson, 19, who worked in a pizza shop, disappeared on April 1st after spending an evening on a first date in Milwaukee. Shockingly, Maxwell Anderson, 33, the son of an insurance firm founder, stands accused of her murder. In the days following Sade's disappearance, her partial remains were discovered scattered across various locations. Surveillance footage captured Anderson and Sade on their ill-fated date, with phone records tracing her movements from their rendezvous to Anderson's home and eventually to a park where her leg was discovered. Despite mounting evidence, Maxwell Anderson has maintained his innocence, pleading not guilty to all charges. The accused, determined to prove his innocence, is adamant about his right to a fair trial. As the legal proceedings unfold, the quest for justice continues, and the memory of Sade Robinson serves as a poignant reminder of the need for vigilance and accountability in our communities. At our number 2 spot lies a chilling tale of betrayal and tragedy, where the life of a promising young woman was cut short by a callous killer. Nadine Abaros, a resident of Welsh Capital, found herself entangled with Sammy Alamari through an online dating site. Despite Alamari's initial charm and lavish gifts, their relationship took a dark turn, marked by episodes of violence and abuse. Alamari's possessiveness and jealousy reached alarming levels as he obsessively monitored Nadine's every move, even from across the Atlantic. In a sinister turn of events, Alamari traveled from the U.S. to Cardiff, where he orchestrated Nadine's murder on New Year's Eve. After committing the heinous act, he callously attempted to cover his tracks by staging her death as a suicide. However, justice prevailed as the truth came to light. Alamari, who deceived Nadine with false claims of being an FBI agent, was eventually apprehended in Tanzania and brought to trial. Initially denying the charges against him, he eventually pleaded guilty, bringing closure to Nadine's loved ones and underscoring the importance of accountability in the face of such heinous crimes. Thank you for staying with us this far, and now, the final event on our list. The tragic case of Eleni Topolodi serves as a stark reminder of the dangers lurking behind the veil of online interactions. Eleni's planned meeting with her Facebook friend Alexander took a horrifying turn when she fell victim to a sinister plot orchestrated by him and his accomplice. On the day of their meeting, Eleni found herself in company of Alexander and his friend, expecting a leisure drive to his holiday house. However, what ensued was a nightmare as the two men subjected her to violent advances, escalating to a brutal assault when she resisted, proceeded to hit her savagely, inflicting serious injuries. Subsequently, Eleni was transported to a remote beach while semi-conscious to a remote rocky beach. Alexander said they hit and punched her, adding that it was his friend that hit her over the head with an electric iron. After torturing the student, they placed her naked body inside a car and drove her to a beach, where they raped her and then tied her legs together before throwing her into the ocean to drown. Alexander said Eleni was still alive before they threw her into the water, and she desperately pleaded with them to take her to the hospital and not let her die, with her last words being, "My dad will come after you both." Online dating has really caused more harm than good. While it allows you to meet more people easily, it also exposes you to potential danger from predators. The best thing is to tread with absolute caution and avoid disclosing too much information to your date, and refrain from meeting them in questionable or unsafe locations. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, since more interesting and thrilling videos are on the way.